Hi everybody, this is Lance from ThetaTraders.com. In this update video, I'm going to go over the April futures trades that I've made on the Discord. We'll deep dive a little bit into some of the strategies and why do I do the strategies the way I do. Really good return last month, so let's get right to it. Alright, so on the Discord for all ThetaTraders.com members, the inner circle I go over all the futures trades for MES and the yearly. And then I do some commodity trades. You do gold rush with GC, crude oil, CL and MCL, commodity trades like soybeans, ZS, done wheat as well, the past ZW. And then we go over the lifetime chart and what's happening with these positions. We go over the MES first. So on March 30th, sold two low delta strangles, 1450 credit. Sold two more for 1750 credit. Then I go over when I closed these. I closed the longer dated covered call. We initially started it for 32 in credit on the 28th. And then literally that day on the 3rd, we bought it back for 10.25. So made almost 22 in premium there. 5 multiplier, at least $100. Did a new longer dated cover strangle, which actually closed near the end of the month. Close the shorter dated cover strangles. We do them 1 or 2 weeks out as well. Sold it for 22, bought it for 5 back. Another covered strangle, sold it for 21.25. Sold them one from the past, 17.75, bought it back for 9.25. This one happened pretty quick too as well. 26th of March to the 6th of April. And then whenever I close a position, I'm going to fill in another position to keep my buying power going. Close for 62.50. Doing 112 strategies as well, where you buy a put debit shred and then sell two naked puts against it. And these usually I'll just hold on for most of it, 102 days out. So we'll be looking at some decent amount of income in the future. 20.75 times 2, looking at about 42 or so in credit. Subtract 9 in the debit. You're looking at a 30 credit here and a relatively safe strikes, and you get a good hedge there. Close the covered strangle here again on the 4th to the 11th. Made another 15 in premium, about $81 profit. Setting up a new covered strangle. So you can see how once I close one out, I'm going to open up a new one, just keep that money coming. Another 121.25 profit on the covered strangle, other 37.25 on the covered strangle. Entering new covered strangles. Covered strangle's been doing really well for me lately. We haven't got assigned on any of them this month, and we're just taking in these credits, usually buying them back relatively cheap. We are doing some iron butterflies now, where we're selling a put and a call, buying the wings to give us some protection there. Selling another 44 days out, 1450. So this would go into May. So some of these might be May profits in the future. Another $40 covered strangle, 57.5 profit. This is the graph on the 112. You can see how you have a lot of upside to get your target premium. And then you could get even more premium if it goes against you a little bit. Covered strangle again. Covered strangle, and those are all the MES trades. Now for gold is going very well as well. So I sold an iron condor on GC. I usually do around 50 with, so I could get a good amount of credit for it and not use up a ton of buying power. I have about $2,000 in buying power here. We're going to sell it for 3.7. That's $370. And usually buy it back at 50% profit, so about 180 or so dollars afterwards. Give some different information about gold there. Sold another covered strangle. This one I sold for $300 gain in 6 days. So on the 11th, I sold for 9.8. Literally on the 17th, 6 days later, bought it back for 6.8. I usually let them run a little bit more than that, but since it was $300 in 6 days, it's hard not to take profits on that. But then I added a new one. Close another $170 profit from the previous example that I mentioned with 3.7. So this was March 29th. Took in $370. And then on April 18th, closed it out for $170 profit. So just look, that's $170 in profit. Keep up to $2,000 in your buying power, and that's an 8.5% return in about 2 weeks or so, which is really good. You didn't even need the full $2,000 in the buying power because it didn't go against us. It used about $700-800 or so. And we're in a current new GC, waiting it out for now. And we're at about an $80-90 profit. I want to let it go a little bit more. So this could possibly be one that I close for around 220, 250 and sometime in April. I'm sorry, May. Here's oil. Beginning of April. So I entered a 0.07 delta, took in 0.96, that's $96 on an MCL. I got challenged on one, and then I'll write down what I'm doing to manage these things. It didn't actually get called away though. In this case, I actually did get called away. And that was, I think, my only loss that I had, but I did re-enter at a different strike. Yeah, I re-entered for 71 days out. And this one took in $236. So it's essentially a roll. Went a little bit further out in time to give myself more time to try to make the profits back. Then I went with another high delta strangle, 1.57. I closed the original one from before, a $14 gain. It ended up being about a $100, $150 loss. But it was okay because I made it back on the 14th, $62 gain, also $77 gain. We entered a new 0.07 delta to get $100 in. And then I sold a new one. Again, going further out in time, 90, 91 days out, because IVR is relatively low right now. And this one took in $210. So I have about $310 in the oil that I might be able to profit on later. For commodities, and these go to lifetime members. So right before the beginning of April, sold this ZS at soybeans for 8.5. Then I sold a corn one for 3.5. This one on the 6th, I closed out. So I took in 8.5 on the 27th, sold it for 5.125. That's almost a $168 profit in only 10 days. Soybeans, did another one 50 days out. Bacon trade that I did from mid-March actually started here. I closed out the bacon relatively quickly, $130 on the bacon trade. That's HE, by the way. On the 6th, I entered it. On the 21st, I closed it. So a little less than 3 weeks, made $130 there. I closed the ZS for a $250 profit too. And I'm currently waiting on the soybeans. Took in 6, it's around 4.5 or so. So overall, it's a really good month. There was that one loss, is the only loss that I had was on the MCL. There's a strangle loss here. I took a $50 loss on the 112 trade from the past. I just let the put debit spread expire worthless. So that was the minus 50. But I did profit on that trade because I sold my 2 naked puts for more than 50. I sold it in the past. So for April, we started with $21,919. I added $900 into the account on the 4th. Took in $1,404 in the strangles. So I'm writing down the numbers of the profit, and then I'm writing down the position. For the covered strangles, no losses. Had a $537 gain in the covered strangles. Total, when you add those up, is $1,941 in profit. So if you take 1,941 divided by that liquidating plus the 900, ends up being a 8.9% return. And I'm only looking for about 2% return is my goal. I'm just going to be keeping on taking on the trades as they come up if it's profitable positions and just keep recycling it in over and over. So you might possibly get more than the 2%. I'm willing to take a little bit of losses to take a stop loss a little bit further out. That MCL was a decent loss because oil did move pretty dramatically. but just keep recycling them in. A few trades will get stopped out, but that's okay as long as a large majority of our trades are good winners. I usually end up closing trades around 50% profit. For covered strangles, I usually go a little higher, around 75%, because I don't mind getting a sign on it. And then for the other trades, I usually stop out at around 100% of a loss. Real quick, I wanted to show on the Francis Workshop, I go over a lot of detail on what's happening with my positions, on when I should stop them or so. You also see a lot of questions come up throughout the day. So if you're interested in doing these strategies and you have any questions on it, we're very active on that Discord. So as you ask any questions, I'll answer it as soon as possible. And these are for Inner Circle and for lifetime channels. So if you're a current member of Theta Traders and you're on the quarterly or monthly plan and would like to see all of these futures strangles, covered strangles, and commodity trades, just send me a DM. If you're new and you haven't joined Theta Traders yet, you can do a free 7-day trial. If you do it on the quarterly or annual plan, we won't charge you until 7 days after you sign up. And if you do the annual plan, you'll see all of these trades happen in real time as I enter and close positions. So again, if you found this video helpful, please click like, subscribe. Definitely helps out the channel and the YouTube algorithms and all that. And see you guys on the Discord. Have a good rest of the day.